reading my story, Chasing Rainbows. Chapter 20. The Chance Meeting. Clutching his son by the hand, Joseph was about to turn away and head for his father's home. He had driven over by pony and trap to the park so the lad could enjoy himself on the swings and kick his ball about. The child was growing restless now and tugging at his hand impatiently. Joseph bent down to him. "What is it, little man?" he grinned. The boy pointed. "Papa, it's Lou!" He jumped up and down with excitement. Young as he was, Francis had never forgotten the day he had played Ring of Roses with Louisa. He had liked Louisa, and the little boy had been upset by her rapid departure. Now he could see her approaching with the pretty lady, and his little face was wreathed in smiles. Joseph felt his heart contract with love as he hastened to greet them. Jess was overwhelmed by the surge of love that filled her being as she saw his face light up with his special smile. Delighted to see each other again, the children skipped off towards the swings. Joseph's arms enfolded Jess in a tender embrace, and for a moment neither could speak as they held each other close. Then their lips blended, clinging together joyously. When they drew apart, he pressed his lips against her dainty fingers, his eyes searching hers anxiously. "Your father came to see me. I'm truly sorry about Victoria." Her eyes glistened with tears as she looked up at him with compassion. He sighed, placed his arm around her shoulders, and they began to stroll towards the children who were happily bouncing the ball about. "Oh, Jess, it was a wicked waste of a young life, and I must take most of the blame." There was a deep regret in his voice. She turned towards him, appalled by his words. "You mustn't think that way. It was just a dreadful accident. How can you hold yourself responsible for that?" He shook his head. "I'm afraid I do. When I told her I was leaving her, she was furious and emotionally upset. She wasn't responsible for her actions. I should have realized that, and yet I ignored the signs." "Nonsense! How could either of you have foreseen such a shocking turn of events?" "No, Joseph, it was just a cruel twist of fate." Jess tried to reassure him, but he felt ridden with guilt. He hung his head in remorse. "I'm not so sure about that. I was a rotten husband, Jess. Oh, I tried in the beginning to make a go of things with her, but my feelings were never honourable towards her. I could not pretend to love her, and I'm sure she knew it. I let her down badly, Jess." They sat down together upon a bench, and her dainty hands caressed his face, which were wet with tears. "What's done is done, love. I know it's caused you pain, but you must not let it drag you down, or it will tear you apart with grief. Do not continue to blame yourself or to dwell on past mistakes." She told him gently, soothing him with her words, cradling him in her arms. Her tears mingled with his. Joseph knew he did not deserve her, was not worthy of her enduring love, and yet he drew his strength from her. She was his rock, giving him a sense of purpose, a desire to protect her. Without her he had merely existed, done what was required of him, but there had been no joy in him. Jess had shown him how miraculous real love can be, and despite all the heartache he had caused her in the past, she still cared. She had given him unconditional love freely, without question, expecting little or nothing in return. He counted himself as truly blessed to have found such a love. Or whatever the future held, he felt he could face it with Jess by his side. However, He must not take her generous nature for granted. Much as he longed to make her his wife, he knew he dared not rush her. Better give her time to be sure. After all, if she married him, she would become the stepmother to Francis. Would she feel able to cope and grow fond of the child? It was a big step for Jeff and not to be taken lightly. Now, as he gazed upon her adorable face, he was filled with admiration for this vivacious young woman who was so precious to him. What is it? Noting the honest appreciation in his eyes, she was somewhat amused. He smiled in his special way. I was just thinking what an enchanting girl you are, and how lucky I am to have found you again. She stood up, pulling him to his feet, and his arms encircled her slender waist, drawing her near. Tilting her face towards him, she kissed him lightly on the mouth. Aren't you the most devilish rogue in all the world? She pleaded. Desire stirring within, he pulled her close, kissed her moist lips gently. They drew apart as Louisa ran towards them, Francis close on her heels. Can Francis come home for tea, please, Mama? The little girl glanced at Joseph shyly. Jeff looked towards Jesus in amusement. He knelt upon the soft grass beside the children. Only if I'm invited too, Joseph grinned in response. Louisa nodded solemnly, whilst Francis jumped to flee. Jeff and Joseph burst out laughing, to their delight.